Could you first kind of give us an update on Peyton Barber and some of the other injuries?
Yeah, Peyton's doing well. He had an ankle sprain. Shouldn't be a problem at all. Should be ready to go when summer gets here.
Owens?
Yeah, he should be ready also. Obviously didn't go through spring, held him out. But he's a veteran guy, and he's a guy that knows what to do. So, we feel good about him.
And the status of Anthony Swain?
What's that?
The status of Anthony Swain?
No, there's no change in that.
Do you expect the resolution of that to come next week after finals?
I think so. I think it should be fairly quick.
Is there an update on Tyler Nero's status for the program?
Still the same. Nothing's changed.
Okay. Cool.
You had a lot of movement along the offensive line at different points, just trying guys in different spots. Yeah. Is there any more information you got as a result of spring? Do you look at Chad Slade still as the starting right guard? Is that still that spot?
Right. Nothing's changed as far as that goes. Anything different than the way we entered spring? It was kind of like we talked about during spring. Is we wanted to try to develop quality depth. We wanted to mix and match a couple of the veteran guys that play what if we get some injuries in the course of the season, and feel very good about our depth up front. And really, we gathered some real good information that we have a good plan, going into the fall.
You played Avery at guard and tackle. Do you view him as interchangeable, or do you want to see him?
He's got the ability to play both, but obviously, he's our right tackle. But we moved him. We moved Chad to the left side some, and then Pat Miller and Sean both played right and left. And I just think it just gives you versatility, moving forward if you have injuries. And then of course Xavier Dampier at center. He got a lot of reps. And of course, A-Day, he was the guy that went with the first group. So, we feel like we have some depth.
You mentioned the guys on the left side. Is that picture any clearer after spring, or is that still?
Nothing's changed other than we feel very good about both those guys. We feel like they could start for a whole lot of teams, and we look at them both as starter-type people.
Coach, how about the conference rules about the 8-game conference play? What do you think about that? How does that affect your team and the way you approach the season?
Yeah, of course I'm all for it, and the 8 games. I think our conference speaks for itself. If you look at the past as far as strength, and we'll see. The first couple years in this new 4-team playoff, we'll see how everything develops. But I think it's a good plan. At least start now.
Coach, I wanted to ask you about a local guy, Cameron Melton, how he's progressed.
Yeah, Cameron Melton got a lot of reps during the spring. He's a little banged up in the fall. Kind of put him behind a little bit, but this spring he was fine. Played a lot. He wants to be good. That's the thing that stands out to me. It's very important to him. And, I think, he turned some heads.
After Sammy, have you begun to figure out a pecking order with the wide receivers?
Say it again.
After Sammy Coates, have you begun to figure out who the next two guys
I think we have more depth, at the wide receiver position than any of the 3 years I was here before. That's a good thing. We've not made any decisions, past that. But the good thing is we got a lot of options, and we moved some people around. We tried to figure out, what their strengths were, and we tried to develop some depth, thinking specifically for next fall. And we've got a lot of good options.
Have you figured out where Duke is going to fit role-wise, if he's a 9 or a 2? Or?
Yeah, I think he's got the ability to move around and, to play all the positions. At times, we moved him around, and, he's picked up things very quick. And, he's a guy that really wants the ball and can do something with it once he catches it.
Coach, Will Muschamp spoke earlier today about the Florida-Auburn rivalry, wanting to continue that. What are your thoughts about continuing that matchup?
Well, obviously it's a very good rivalry. There's no doubt. There's been some classic games, from that. And no, I'm all for that. And like I said earlier, the 8-game schedule that we've had, the way that things have been in the past, it's fine with me. And like I said, I think we'll figure out more as we go with this new 4-team playoff, each year.
As finals wrap up this week, you lost Landrum and Gaston last year to transfers. Are you expecting any movement personnel-wise?
I don't know at this point, but they do have finals this week, and we're in meetings, and I feel good about our team.
How do you feel about the kicking situation coming out of spring?
I feel pretty good. You're talking about 2 freshman guys in the mix right now, and I think both of them are very talented, and I think the more experience they get, you know, it'll definitely help. And we tried to put them in as many game type situations, you know, as we could this spring. You know, even in spring game, we actually punted something. We didn't do that last year. Well, that was by design to give him a chance, Jimmy a chance to get out there and show what he can do. And of course, Daniel made a 50-yarder, came close to, I think,